definitely looks a lot better, man. Yo.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, guys? Let us know on Twitter here if we're coming in okay. We had to finagle the setup here real quick. Last mailbag at the loft here, people.
Bittersweet.
Last mailbag at the loft. I don't know who the hell this is.
Let me grab that. Where's on my phone? All right, guys. Just getting ourselves situated here. We just had a film crew leave, hence us being so kind of helter-skelter. Are people letting us know whether they can hear us or not?
Indeed. Let's play this and let's see what's going on.
The video has been removed by the user.
FYI, guys, if you have any questions that you want answered and you haven't sent your email in, make sure you just interact on Twitter, and we'll go ahead and take your questions there. Okay? But let's go ahead and get cracking. First thing I want to say how ridiculous this market is. We broke out late in the afternoon now, and that's coming to a pattern now. Now it's all happening in the afternoon. Like the juice is now happening in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's not happening in the first 10, 20 minutes. You'll get the fake out in the first 10, 20 minutes. We'll do nothing. We'll do nothing for the day and then rip at 2 o'clock, 2 in the afternoon. Right. So it's a complete difference. Hopefully you guys are able to catch some of these things. Apple was a great trade today. Netflix, all those names. Money is still coming into those names. So some good call trades there. Let's take some questions here. Let's take some questions.
Let's do it.
Sandil is saying, how can I become as good as you? Well, see, right now I'm not feeling that great because I'm not doing that great right now. So this is a very subjective question, I'd say.
It's true.
But in the interest that we actually believe this statement, what would we say to this man here? What would we say to this man?
I mean, we were just talking about that over there, right? I mean, with Ezra, isn't this a little bit of what we were talking about? I mean, Cynthia, one of the things that we were just going through, we do things where when we have people come on or just in general, Roy and I sit down with everyone and we get their full story, right? I mean, we interview them for hours and hours and hours and hours to just make sure we completely understand everything about them and what they can offer and skill sets and everything and what they're really good at, what they suck at. And Lucci was talking about how he, when he first started really grinding on becoming a good trader, and he was like, I used to get up at 5:30 a.m. and I would get past to the office. I would be there. Well, you were there at 6:30, right?
Yeah, 6:30. It was like an hour away.
He would
Yep,
prep. He was writing stuff, writing content, studying stuff, and he wouldn't leave until 10:30, right? And he'd wake up the next morning and do it again. He was like, there was no girls, there was no partying.
Nothing.
I mean, he was grinding. He was in that place of just grinding out, learning, and
I didn't shave. I looked like Bin Laden's cousin.
Right.
All the time.
That's a quote. Someone has to put that on Twitter. I look like Bin Laden's cousin.
And girls would be like, dude, what is wrong with you?
You'd be like, don't
I'd
worry.
look at them, I'd be like, see, give me 2 years. You don't even know.
In 5 years, I'm going to come
Give
back.
me 2 years, you're just going to be...
And I'm going to buy you a house.
You're going to be so sad. So sad you didn't talk to me 2 years ago.
So, yeah, dude, Cynthia, you got to work your ass off, for one. Put in the hours, study. You got to find... you're not going to be like Lucci. That's what we're always talking about. You're not going to be Lucci. You got to be... This is really cliche, but your version of Lucci, right?
We were also talking about how, and actually this is a good segue here. We were also talking about how becoming a trader or becoming a good trader is being marketed now. It's not like
the lifestyle.
Yeah. So previously, becoming a trader, it was a sought after job that only certain people would get at these big banks.
Right.
And then as retail traders, nobody who really trades retail is heralded here as the guy. I mean, obviously you'll see some. That's that Karen the Super Trader chick on YouTube, and people like that. But it's being marketed now as everybody can do it, which is simply not the case.
Right. Yeah, they're selling a lot. Now, when I say they, a lot of our competition, and I mean we do it sometimes too. It's like they sell the lifestyle of either being your own boss or hey, you're gonna make all this money and be in Malaysia with these hot chicks, and, pictures for a Ferrari, whatever. And don't, I guess as that relates to your question, Cynthia, it's like don't be distracted by that stuff because it's not real, and it's not going to, odds are it's not going to happen. If that's what you're aiming for when you start, then you're screwed, I think.
Yeah, yeah. If you're driven by what you can get as part of the lifestyle here versus, sort of a genuine reason for becoming a trader. Like, guys, I became a trader for the freedom. Like, I haven't had a job since 2006.
Yeah, and being an entrepreneur in a similar vein, I don't even know if I would remember how to work.
Exactly. And you think about being acclimated to a 9-to-5 environment, and then you think about doing something like him and I are doing right now.
Yeah.
You almost have to train your mind to get back into that perspective.
Oh, totally. I take so much for granted. I mean, come on.
We take a lot for granted. I take a lot for granted. I do. I take a lot for granted. And especially, you have conversations with your boys, like when you're out. And
realize that's when the downside. That's when I realize it. I'm like,
and they're always like, oh yeah, this motherfucker, he doesn't have to.
Yeah, they're like, like he doesn't have to wear that. Like it goes beyond just like wearing a suit every day. It's like choosing when you can't. I mean, of course, there's downsides. Like sometimes you can't choose. There's no paycheck coming in unless you work your ass off. It's immensely stressful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And women will always say, oh my God, I have my closing nighttime routine. I got to pick out my clothes for the next day. I got to figure out what I'm going to eat. I got to do all this kind of stuff, and it takes like an hour and change.
Right.
And then they'll look right at me, and they'll be like, don't fucking say anything. Just don't.
Because you're just like...
I'm like, listen.
I just face plant into the fucking bed, and then I get up the next day and roll over. I don't know. What else? How do you become... How do you become a good trader? This is the most loaded question.
This is a loaded question here. This is a good question here, though. Remember, it's the last mailbag, guys. It's the last mailbag here at the Loft, all right? I don't want to say it's the last mailbag.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's the last mailbag at the Loft here, guys. So all the viewers here, please interact on Twitter. Give us any of the questions that you want to have us answer. Maybe it's about the current market environment. Maybe it's about your trading right now. Whatever it is, psychological questions, whatever you got.
Yes.
So more on how you can become like a great trader is really focus on you. Don't focus on your strategy. And that's one thing that I really tell to everybody. That don't focus on your strategy. It is not your strategy that is causing you to let's say take larger losers than your winners. It's not your strategy at all. It's your mindset. It's your psychology. So the more you work on yourself, the better a trader you become. And I think that's in life in general. As a man, as a woman, whatever the case is, you have to try to work on yourself to become better at the same things that you're doing, whether it's better at your job, better parent, better father, better tennis player, whatever the hell it is you want to do.
Right. That's like what I wrote in the article that I put up yesterday. It's like,
which, by the way, I haven't even read that. I didn't even know you wrote that. Please.
All right.
Please. How much shit have I written, and you don't even know that it's
you've written like 1,600 articles. Like, come on.
Shit. Get on your game.
All right. So, what I was saying, yesterday is like in that article I wrote is like trading is about self-mastery for a lot of traders, right?
Yes.
And that's what attracts me to it. Like, yes. I think markets are fascinating. I love this, but it's like it's the concept that it is drawing. In order to be successful, it requires you to be your best self.
Yes.
That's what I think is so cool about it. Yes. And what we were talking about earlier, guys, in a conversation we were having in the office is, if you want to be a successful trader, one of the best things you can do is kind of survey a number of different strategies, right? Do a little bit of research and find what you think makes sense to you. Do the smell test and be like, okay, I think this is legit. And then choose one and stick to it, right? And think of that as your vehicle to stick to that for a couple months,
right?
And more than a couple months, and use that as your vehicle to understanding yourself and how you operate in certain environments, in certain contexts, and understanding more about yourself. You can't learn about yourself in the context of the markets and trading if you're jumping around, from strategy to strategy every 2 weeks or month or whatever. You have to choose something and kind of stick with it.
And you take where the world is right now, and I'm going to go crazy big picture with this.
Yeah.
You take where the world is right now with all the social media, and there's so much now of different directions you get pulled in, more so than 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
And there's so many ways that you could go about anything.
Right.
You think about anything in life, there's so many ways that you could go about it. And there's so many people talking about their way of going about it. There's so many people showcasing their way of going about it. and you sitting here and you're getting tempted and you're getting pulled in all these different directions. Oh, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that.
Totally.
Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that.
Right.
And all the while you're neglecting yourself. You're neglecting the person that you need to become.
Right.
So stop fucking around. Stop bullshitting here.
Right.
All right? So look within. Forget about all this garbage out here. All right? Forget about Twitter. Forget about all this nonsense. All right? Look within. You already have the answers. Your dumbass just can't see it yet. That's really all it is.
Amen.
That's all it is. All right, so we got Q Million here. Based on common sense of things, sound mind and body concept, everyone's heard warnings about the freshman 15 in college, but is it true that traders pack on 10 to 15 pounds during their first year of trading, sitting at a desk and just watching a screen all day? I love this kid. I love this computer. I love this computer. Again, this is Q Million here. Guys, you can find him on Twitter at Million Capital. By the way, Million is spelled with one L. Because, you know.
Why not?
Maybe it's the French. Is it French for million?
Million?
Spelled million?
Million?
No, but do that again.
Million? Montebella, tutti frutti.
Tutti frutti. Where'd you learn how to speak Italian? Your father talked to you all the time?
All the time. Montebella, tutti frutti. Sorry, guys. Money Talks quotes.
Money Talks. Money Talks. Anybody that doesn't know that movie is Money Talks. Go see that movie.
Yep.
It's not in theaters. It's on Netflix. All right?
Maybe if you're lucky.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. All right. So, is it true that traders pack on 10 to 15 pounds during their first year at trading,
I don't know.
sitting at a desk?
No idea.
I'll tell you right now. When I was working, when I was just starting as a trader,
Right.
I mean, I got pretty fat.
Really? You did?
I got pretty fat.
Well, you were fucking jacked before,
I was
right?
jacked before. Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go. If you're jacked and you stop working out, it turns to fat, like, because your muscle turns straight into fat.
That sucks, man.
It sucks. That's why you always see these football players who are just ex-football players who are just fat, because muscle is, if you don't maintain it, it turns right into fat.
The muscle turns right into fat?
Yep.
The fuck that, man.
Yep.
You put in all this work at the gym.
Well, and plus your eating habits are used to driving towards building up, that caloric intake, right? And you keep on doing that, but you're not working out anymore. So you got a fucking oil tanker that's going to run into your stuff. And
it's amazing the mindset of human beings, though. Like, we'll put so much effort into looking good like that for the dumbest things.
I mean,
to hook up with women, to look good in a beach, to look good in a bathing suit, right? And maybe you'll have 1 or 2 summers that you get of clean fun. And then you're paying for it the rest of your fucking life?
I mean,
is that what it is? That's what is going on here?
The stupidity of me, how much I lifted when I was in college, and I look at pictures of me, I weigh 25 pounds more than I weigh right now.
Right.
I mean, so much fucking effort put into this.
You weigh 24 pounds more?
25 pounds, so I weigh like 190, 195 right now. I mean, I weighed like 215 or 220.
In college?
Yeah, it was all muscle.
Yeah.
I was just a meathead, man. And I would go to Subway.
You had what?
I'd go to Subway.
Yo, this dude is like real lean, man. Like you don't pack on muscle like that. You just because you run a lot.
Yeah, I run a lot. I try and keep it pretty light and lean. And I mean, dude, I would go to Subway. I'd get 2 footlongs. I'd get double meat in each one. Yeah, it was so stupid, dude. Because I was on the meal plan and I could do it.
Yo, there's nothing worse than those. There's nothing better and nothing worse than a college meal, man.
Yes.
Guess what my dinner was every day, bro? It was a taco, but it was like one of those giant soft, like not those soft shell things. It was
like
giant
a bowl, one of
soft
those bowl things.
right?
Yeah, like a shell. Yeah.
Man, just tons of meat, jalapenos, hot peppers, cheese, tomatoes. I would have that twice a day, lunch and dinner. Every single day. Every single day.
That's gross, dude.
Every single day.
I don't know how you don't have like a tapeworm from that.
Just disgusting. There was Pepsi in the meat at my school.
I don't know what that means.
There was meat.
How do you accomplish that?
I'm sorry, there was meat in the Pepsi.
Yeah, that makes more sense to me.
There's meat in the Pepsi.
Ugh.
Is what I meant to say. So yeah, I mean,
15?
I grew a lot. I mean, but you were right. I mean, that muscle just turned into fat because I wasn't working out. I just didn't have any time to work out.
I mean, if anything, it's like, it's not even like you put on 10 to 15 pounds. It's more, you're more likely just to get like scurvy, like just to like wither away and die. Because traders, like, what they do is they just don't eat. They just don't feed themselves.
That's the other thing too. So my health dwindled as a result because I'd be so focused in what I was doing.
Yeah.
I would not like I wouldn't. Yeah, like I wouldn't take care of my
I wouldn't
body.
put food into my body.
Yeah, so it wasn't lunch or anything until finally you snapped out of it and you realized it. You were like, holy shit.
I see you come out of that all the time. Every other, like once every couple days, you walk away and you're like, holy shit! You're like, I've been eating all day. Like,
but it's amazing how far adrenaline can take you.
Absolutely.
That always amazed me.
Yeah.
You remember that movie where he got stuck in the mountains and he got his arm stuck? And he had to cut his hand off?
Yeah,
what movie was
127
that?
hours.
127 hours.
The true story, that guy went to my rival high school.
Did he really?
Growing up, yeah. Oh, yeah, Cherry Creek High School. Yeah, that shit is real. Aaron Ralston.
Yeah.
The man. I want to meet that guy someday. Would you cut your own arm off? How's that for a mailbag question?
Would you cut your own arm off? Yeah, that's the other question. Answer it on Twitter.
You could do it.
You think I could?
I don't know if I could do it.
Why do you say I could do it?
Because you are a fucking... Don't take this the wrong way. It's actually a huge compliment. It's the only metaphor I can use. You're like a cockroach in that you can't be fucking, like, no matter how hard you get beaten down, you're like, I fucking refuse to give up.
Yeah,
right?
there's no... Yeah.
And so if you were in that situation, you'd just be like,
all right.
Fuck this. Fuck this. And you would just be like, I'm just going to fucking do it. And you'd grit through it and you'd get it done. Right? You'd get it done.
Right.
I don't know.
He had that last, he had that last tendon.
Dude.
That last tendon to cut off and shit. What did he cut it off with?
He has a dull.
He had
a dull pocket knife that like really was like when in the beginning he tries to like stab his arm, you can't even get in there.
Right.
That's in the beginning, and by the end he's just like ripping through that. Oh, it's bad. It's bad.
Oh man, guys, you got to see that movie too.
If you have not seen 127 Hours, see that movie.
So, again, like word of advice here to everybody else who's trading, like make sure you listen to your body, all right? I mean, I know like all these ticks are so freaking important and you think every one tick is going to ruin your fucking life, but honestly, the more you put off, being healthy and all that kind of stuff, the more it's going to affect your trading anyway in the long run. So you might as well, again, eat a good breakfast. Always eat a good breakfast. Eat something light for lunch so that you're not tired and all that kind of stuff.
Not fading.
Exactly. Go to work out. Go to work out after you get out. Have a good dinner and go to fucking sleep.
You guys want to know a weird?
Get some sleep.
I'm gonna tell you something weird right now.
Check this out.
It's after you eat lunch, a lot of people get that like sort of brain fog, right? And for traders, that can be deadly because you're going into the end. You were just talking about it. Now all the juice is towards the end of the day.
Yeah.
So you want to avoid that brain fog as much as possible, but you also want to eat lunch, right? Yeah. So there's this kind of theory out there where that brain fog, is being caused by your adrenal glands, right? And hormones resetting themselves essentially. So after you eat, there are different things happening to your hormones and whatnot. In order to offset that, you can wake up. If the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, if you take a teaspoon of salt, put it in a glass of water, and drink that, it will help you immensely in terms of not feeling that.
Yeah, my father would always do that in the mornings.
I've been doing that for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Really?
It really works, man.
Shit. Bro.
I can give people an explanation if they want it.
Yeah.
People might not want to hear it, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So try it if you want to do it.
All right. So we've got one, Michael Shang. He's one of the 12-day subscribers here. Hey, Lucci, how's it going? Today I traded Yelp, 66.5 weekly calls. Got in for about 85 cents. Yelp was breaking out. Was very strong today despite the choppy market. With the chop in mind, I knew I had to be quick to pull profits, so I sold it out about $1 when I saw the tape was starting to look weak and choppy. But to my surprise, Yelp continued to move another 2 points. Just wanted to ask you if what I did was a smart way to play the trade, and what would you have done in this situation? Dude, again, like, trading is always about accepting the coulda, woulda, shouldas. Yelp happened to be an internet stock, which happened to be tied to the price lines, the Googles, the Netflix of the world. And we did go into chop. We did go into chop for a while, and that juice didn't come back until later on in the day, But this Yelp actually looked like there was buyers on that tape the whole damn time, So, did you get the correct read in the actual stock? Maybe you might have missed a couple of things. So I would go back on the tape and try to take a look at maybe when you got out and seen what happened after, and seeing if you sort of got faked out or you got a little scared. But again, in a choppy environment, you got to take your profits. So, dude, I wouldn't be mad at that. All right. I'll give you a perfect example. Priceline and Google did nothing all day and then rallied 20 points at the fucking close. You know, what are you going to do with that? And this was provided you stayed around for 2 hours here and sort of anticipated that happening. Difficult. All right, so my boy Muspet here is he's advancing here on Cynthia's question. How does one become a better trader than Sang Lucci? I mean, shit. I mean, I know what I have to do, so let's just throw that out there. I would work predominantly on your psychology, but work predominantly on your losses. You know, work predominantly on cutting down those losses. That's really what you want to do. And you guys all know how to do that or can do that. 713, what area code is that? Is that DC?
That is DC.
That is DC, right?
Is that DC? I don't know.
Yeah, so anything? What do you got? I mean, you see me fucking up here.
Yeah, I mean, it's about finding a way. Every trader, like, you know, Lucci knows what he needs to do, you know, and people on Twitter think that they're saying something insightful that he doesn't know. I mean, the guy is painfully aware of what he needs to do to get better. It's finding a way, doing something, whether it's doing something different or doing what you're trying to do right now and doing it better to whether it's a kind of a hack, an external thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
Or whether it's
that's good. That's good.
You know, or whether it's just, you know, looking further in yourself or whatever. It's just finding a way to execute on the things that you need to do.
Yeah, finding ways to change those habits. Change those habits that get you in those situations. You know, a trader who can change those, you know, some of those bad habits or bad tendencies that he does, even if it's just a small percentage, that's the guy that's gonna get better and better and better and better. And there's really no ceiling as to how much better he can become.
Well,
you know.
And what's interesting, and a lot of the research talks about this, is like people. Unfortunately, changing habit is like a very granular, detailed, dirty, annoying, grinding process. It is not the epiphanal moment of you wake up and you say, "Hey, I want to eat healthy now, so now I'm going to start doing it." It is not like that. It's like you're walking down a corridor and you constantly have all these, you know, opportunities to walk down the wrong hallway and do the wrong thing, and you have to find a way to stop yourself from going down to every single one of those things, or taking yourself down a road that won't even put you in front of those doors. Right. It is not easy to do, and it's work. That is the work of becoming a good trader, is building those habits.
Work
your ass off.
All right, so we got @trader7814 on Twitter. I've been trading options for 2 months now and making progress. What is the best advice you can give new traders out there?
Follow SangLucci.com.
What's the best advice I can give to new traders? Okay, actually, best advice is that most times that you buy calls or puts, most of those times you're actually going to lose money if you hold those for too long of a period in time, right? Most of those options that you buy, whether they're out of the money or even in the money, they're going to dwindle out in premium. So best advice I can really give to a newer trader is to make sure you understand what comprises the price of an option, you know, and make sure you understand time decay. Make sure you're looking at your calendar and seeing how much time you have left until these things expire. You know, sometimes it's really the simple things here that, you know, the newer traders just kind of gloss over, and they're just like, oh shit, this thing can go here, so let me buy this option.
Again, referring to this article that I wrote yesterday, quite relevant. You know, you guys, all this stuff, the psychology, the health, all that stuff, that's all like level 3, level 4, whatever stuff. It means nothing if you don't have a good understanding of what you're trading and a strategy, right? So if you don't understand how an option works, you can be Iron Man, you know, monk, whatever, but you're not going to make any money, right? It doesn't matter. So the best advice is just like really get a good understanding of how this stuff works.
And we have breaking news here. And I mean, as you can see, this earpiece. I don't have the earpiece, but we have breaking news. Jen Selter has favorited my tweet from this morning, where I shouted her out for she can create a lifestyle and living around a fucking booty shot.
That's awesome. She has like 600,000 followers.
600,000 followers.
Now let's see if anybody, look, Wu-Tang Financial.
She just Wu-Tang Financial, of course, he loves it. He loves it.
Love it.
Guys, interact on Twitter if you want us to start writing for Wu-Tang Financial. This is something that I want to do.
Wu-Tang Financial is the man. Whoever you are out there, you're the man.
You're the man. All right, so we got who am I here @money_SL. Is that SL or SI?
Yeah. So,
How much capital did you start with, and how long was it before you were profitable? Great question. I started with $5,000 in capital. I actually started with $2,000 of my own money and a loan of $3,000 from a shark that I never fucking paid.
Really?
Yeah. So it was $5,000. It was $5,000 is what I start with, and it took me a year and a half. And that's the thing. I mean, the question on becoming profitable. I mean, I had a $200 month.
Right. I was in the black.
My fourth month in, I had a $200 month. I was still red in my account.
Right.
And I think the head trader wanted to give people he would give people 50% if they were down in their accounts. So even if you were down, he would still give you 50% of what you ended up making. So I got a check for $100, and I was like, yo, I'm on my way, dude. I'm on my way, man.
You were more like, I'm going to go blow my fucking brains out.
Seriously, in my freaking Osama beard.
Yeah.
And
you're like, this is rock bottom.
And my shirt that I hadn't changed in
you're like, this has got to be rock bottom right now.
I was wearing the same shit every day. People were just like, dude, do you shower? Do you even go home?
Like, get out of my way.
Like, just shut up.
All I see is the tape right now.
Shut up. You're not even in front of me right now. You're not a real person.
Right.
So to become profitable over time, it took me about a year and a half. I mean, that was where I stepped back and I was like, all right, yeah, I got this. I can do this.
Right. Right.
And I think I understood it a year in, but I never figured out how to bring the money home. I could always make the money, but then there was an issue of actually coming back with it.
Right.
So I would have a $30,000 a month at one point, and then I'd be like, yo, I'm going to end the month at 50, and then I'd end the month negative.
Right.
It would be dumb shit like that.
Right.
Which I'm sure you guys have all done too in your trading careers and everything.
Right.
And you really got to get over this. And that, by the way, that's all ego, that's all pride, that's all emotions. That's all that is. So as soon as I realized the game wasn't about what I was doing, it was more about what was going on up here, that's when everything clicked.
Right.
That's when everything clicked.
Right.
And more so when I stopped thinking about the money. Like I was thinking about the money so much, and I was thinking about what I was going to do when I had the money so much that it almost already happened. So even when I got some money, it was gone anyway. It was gone anyway to X, Y, and Z, paying off this bill, that bill, and I would do things assuming that I was going to make that money.
Right.
Which is another one of the dumbest things that you can do.
Entrepreneurs do that too.
Right. So, and you sell yourself, or you rationalize it by thinking, all right, I need to do this because eventually I'm going to get here, and I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to take care of this, and this has to be done now because for my growth and blah blah blah. But the one thing that most people just can't embrace from their parents, any parent who's involved in their children's life and who's been through a lot of shit, they'll all tell you one thing: just fucking live in your means. Live within your means. Yeah. Live within your fucking means. They all say it for some reason. You listen to you look at them and like, yeah, I got it. And then that money is in your hands.
Always that little
that money is in your hands, and women and this and that.
So easy to rationalize.
There's so much temptation, and you just go, and then you have to get smacked. You got to get smacked to realize, like, damn.
Yeah.
Now I got to tell my father he was fucking right.
Yeah.
I can't go home. I don't want to go home.
I'm going to go live on Bully's couch.
Exactly. All right, so last question here. You guys are keeping the law for the other purposes or getting rid of it entirely.
If we could keep this place, if we had the money coming in to keep this place as a party loft, we would be doing it.
We would do it, man. Yo, guys.
Not there yet.
This party on Saturday is shaping up right now. It's starting to shape up right now. We're looking well over 140, 150 people, and I think
quality people too. And so the first time we did it, it was just like let's just get as many people in here.
Yeah, so we're looking pretty crazy here. We're looking pretty crazy.
It's gonna be good.
I still got some loose ends to tie up here. I mean, we need a face painter.
You know that episode of Entourage in the first season where I think it's first season, maybe second season, where Vince is leaving to go to New York to shoot his movie. They're moving out of LA, and he just goes on this like tear of just hooking up with like every single chick in LA. And he's just keep using the line like, I'm leaving, and that's like his door.
Yeah.
If that's the way to break the ice, that's basically what Lucci's been doing. there's like a couple, ones that have been like running around. So I can't wait to see him handle. He's going to be working like 6 different women in the room, and he's going to be keeping them in certain circles. He's going to have wingmen probably like running screens and stuff like that. It's going to be a very complex system. I'm just going to be sitting back there.
Man, I got the mask.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I got the mask.
So you're just gonna
costume.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna.
You're just gonna dart in and out and like you're gonna be like, "Where's Lucci?" No. Yeah, no, but
So that's it. I think that's it for questions. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, guys, we get this a lot. I just want to keep clarifying. We're moving out of the loft. Lucci's going to Boston, so we're gonna have an office in Boston that he's gonna be trading out of and head up. Pete is in New Haven, Connecticut, with
he's already
Hyam,
set up there,
doing the Yale, poaching off the Yale campus, trying to get some brains out of there. And so there will be a satellite office there, and then the headquarters is going to be here in New York. We're getting new office space we're moving into on Monday, so we're still doing everything.
So guys, again, just so nothing is changing here. Honestly, the core concepts here, Peter is going to grow some crazy shit. I mean, watch for that boy in the future. The shit that he's working on right now is unbelievable. With Charlie's help, the things that these two are putting together, unfreaking believable. So watch for all this stuff. I'm going to go back to Boston, and I am going to become the damn trader that I need to become. That's what I'm going to do.
Baby.
And when I do that, that's going to help these guys do whatever they need to do. And then Roy and Charlie, again, both of them, and just making sure we have the website on par. You guys see the new website. I mean, the shit is dope.
And
I can't even believe
the very beginning, man.
And we're talking about Jen Selter here in the American Dream this morning. I mean, the girl makes it rich on a fucking booty shot.
Right.
You remember the first website, the first Sang Lucci? I don't even think you have.
I have seen it because there's a time portal thing that lets you do it. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, man. I did that shit in a library. I did that shit
in basically just a Word document.
Yeah. I did that shit in a public school library. I was sitting there trying to read PHP books and HTML shit on WordPress.
I mean, fuck, you are like a fucking.
And that was it, And now you look at this website, you look at the people in this room, you look at what we have going on here.
At least 25 people in some capacity involved in everything we're doing.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. So now it's all gung ho. We have all bought in completely. We've taken the beatings that we needed to take.
Yep.
We've yelled at each other. We've had fun with each other and all that kind of stuff. So now that's it. We're together, and this is going.
You know what I was thinking about? Okay, so we're doing the count on the loft thing.
Oh yeah.
You know what has been one of the upsides of us living, you, me, and Pete living and working together for so long?
What's that?
So at one point, Pete and I were playing spades against someone else. I can't remember.
Me and Dennis?
No, it wasn't you.
It
wasn't you and Dennis. No, it wasn't you. It was two other people that was not you.
Okay.
And I realized, this is after like a year and a half of living and working together, I realized it was so unfair because Pete, I could read his fucking mind.
Yeah.
And he could read my fucking mind. We knew each other so well.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Right.
And I realized
that's the game.
And that's the game in spades.
Yeah.
And I realized us three having I mean, trust me, guys, when you live and work with someone like this, it goes into that level of where it's like family member. You're like, I fucking want to kill this person, but they're my, I fucking love them too. I want to fucking kill them, whatever. Yeah. And so, we'll be in meetings now or something like that, and I can just glance real quick at these guys and look back, and I know it's I know everything that's going on. And that's an advantage, man. I mean, you can communicate like that. It's cool.
Great stuff. All right, everybody, we're gonna call it a day. Actually, we got one more question here on Twitter. Let's see, at WCKOEK. I'm not even gonna try. Quickway Chu.
Yeah,
maybe.
No idea.
Let me know if that was right.
Yeah.
Since this came to me after the Forex fix scandal, do you play stops on servers, or is it advisable to have a mental stop? Okay. Yeah. I mean. I would say the mental stop is definite. The problem is, again, since it's your mind, your mind has a tendency to rationalize the stop or tell yourself not to put it there.
You have the discipline,
right? So you might not be able to do that. And again, this Forex fix scandal. I mean, I heard about that shit. It was quite interesting here. So, I mean, your stops should generally work here, especially depending on what broker you're putting them through and all that. But I think as a backup to that, absolutely, you got to have your mental stop.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's about it. Last mailbag here from the loft. Are we gonna do Tuesday, or when do we do? Are we gonna?
Yeah, we're gonna do Tuesday.
We're gonna do Tuesday. Okay, so we're gonna do Sang Lucci Tuesdays.
Yep.
So we'll see you then.
Oh, by the way, guys. Sang Lucci Scholarship. This is for this is a little piece of reward for all you guys who stuck with us through this entire thing. Sang Lucci Scholarship. We're launching it. Look forward to the announcement this weekend. Get your applications ready. It's one of the coolest things that we do. We really like
get
it,
your memes ready.
Get your memes
ready. All right, we'd like to see that creative, that creative approach here.
Yep.
All right. All right, everybody. Take care.
You
We'll
guys.
see you Tuesday.
Peace.